Don't worry, today we're going deep down into the chemistry logic analysis behind the serving of badminton, especially forehand serve in terms of motor skills performance,
anatomical analysis, mechanical analysis,
and improvement of performance. Without further ado,
let's get started!
Serve is one of the most used serving techniques in badminton. Here are 4 movement phases of forehand serve, which are preparation phase, forward swing phase, contact phase, and follow-through phase. So for the preparation phase, we start by facing the net in a relaxed stance. Place your non-racket foot forward and your racket foot back. Hold the racket with the forehand grip. Position the shuttle in front of your body with your non-racket hand around chest to eye level. Your racket arm should be lifted, shoulder abducted, elbow bent at about 90 degrees while wrist net in neutral phase. Rotate your hips and trunk slightly backwards. Keep your knees slightly bent or straight and focus your eyes on the shuttle and shift your weight onto your back foot. For the next phase, which is the forward swing phase, swing your arm forward smoothly. As you do, rotate your hips and trunk toward the net. Transfer your weight from the back foot to the front foot and extend your wrist and elbow to generate speed. Let your back knee bend slightly to maintain balance. Third one is contact phase. The shuttle is released and struck at waist height or slightly below. Keep the racket face open to lift the shuttle upward and forward, while your wrist flick adds control and power to. And the last phase, which is the follow-through phase, your racket continues upward and forward after striking the shuttles. And your body continues to rotate and follows through slightly forward for balance, while eyes remain on the shuttle. So that's all from my slide.
Next is the anatomical analysis. For preparation phase, there are 3 body segments involved. The first one is shoulder. The associated joint is glenohumeral joint, and the movement is in the frontal plane and the sagittal plane. The action in frontal plane is abduction, and the prime mover is medial deltoid and supraspinatus. While for the sagittal plane, the action is external rotation. The prime mover is infraspinatus, teres minor, posterior deltoid, and lower trapezius. Next is elbow. The associated joint is humeroradial joint and humeroulnar joint. The action is flexion in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is bicep brachii and brachialis. The last one for the preparation phase is hip. The associated joint is hip joint. The plane is transverse plane and the action is rotation. The prime mover is tensor fascia latae, gluteus minimus, gluteus maximus, gluteus inferior, piriformis, obturator externa, and obturator internus. Next slide. Next is forward swing phase. There are 5 body segments involved in this phase. The first one is shoulder. The associated joint is glenohumeral joint. The action is flexion in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is anterior deltoid, serratus inferior, coracobrachialis, and upper part of pectoralis major. Next is elbow. The associated joint is humeroradial joint and humeroulnar joint. The action is a sagittal plane, and the prime mover is tricep brachii. Next is wrist. The associated joint is radiocarpal joint and undercarpal joint. The action is extension in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is extensor carpi radius longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, and extensor carpi ulnaris. Next is hip. The associated joint is hip joint. The action is rotation in a transverse plane, and the prime mover is tensor fascia latae, gluteus minimus, gluteus maximus, gemellus inferior, piriformis, obturator externus, and obturator internus. The last one for the forward swing phase is trunk, where the action is rotation in a transverse plane. The prime mover is external oblique and internal oblique. The next phase is contact phase, where only 1 body segment involved, which is wrist. The associated joint is radiocarpal joint and ulnar carpal joint. The action is flexion in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor carpi ulnaris. And the last phase is follow-through phase, where 4 body segments involved. The first one is shoulder. The associated joint is glenohumeral joint. The action is flexion in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is anterior deltoid, serratus anterior, coracobrachialis, and upper part of pectoralis major. Next is elbow, where the associated joint is humeroradial joint and humeroulnar joint. The action is flexion in a sagittal plane. The prime mover is bicep brachii and brachialis. Next is hip, where the associated joint is hip joint. The action is rotation in a transverse plane. The prime mover is tensor fascia latae, gluteus minimus, gluteus maximus, gemellus inferior, piriformis, obturator externus, and obturator internus. The last one for the follow-through phase is trunk, where the action is rotation in a transverse plane. The prime mover is external oblique and internal oblique. All the movement from the preparation phase until the follow-through phase um, um, inc- involve the concentric contraction.
All right, now it's time for mechanical analysis. So let's break it down phase by phase. So for the first part is the preparation phase. When we get ready to serve, we're going to stand with our feet apart. One foot in the front and another foot is at the back. So our body stays low and stable to stay balanced. Muscles like our chest, which is pectoralis major, upper arm like biceps brachii, and wrist extensor muscles get ready to work. These muscles store energy, like pulling back a slingshot. So all set to release power. Now it's getting exciting, which is going to go to accelerations or forward swing. So the racket swing forwards, which is fast towards the shuttle. Power starts from the leg, moves through the hips into the trunk, and then to the shoulder, arm, and wrist. So it's just like a power change. So this is called the kinetic change. So basically, each body part passes energy to the next one. Now we're going to the contact phase, which is the racket hits the shuttle just below the waist level. So a sharp wrist snap helps give the shuttle speed and directions, so it can also pull the opponent. So let's add some simple signs, which is the Newton's second law, which is F equals to ma, where F is force, M is mass, and A is the accelerations. More force from our waist means faster the shuttle speed. So the Newton's third law, the shuttle pushes back a bit. So we're going to feel that in our racket. We are not done yet. So this part is super important, which is the follow through phase. After hitting the shuttle, the arm and rackets keep moving forwards. Why is this happening? The reason is to absorb extra force, to protect our muscles and joints, and to stay balanced after the shots. Now let's talk about the muscle in action during follow through, which is on the next slide. So the muscles don't push anymore. They now slow us down safely, not rapidly. So this is called the eccentric contractions. So what it means is like the muscles, like the bicep, shoulders, and trunk muscles, are working like while getting longer, not going shorter. So it's like pressing the brake smoothly after speeding up. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now I'll be covering about how kinesiology principles enhances the forehand serve performance in badminton. First, we apply the leverage and lever systems, where the arm acts as a third lever, like in the picture here. The setup favors speed over force, allowing us to maximize the racket head velocity. By increasing angular velocity at the wrist and elbow, we can generate faster and more powerful serves. Next, we consider the balance and base of support. To serve accurately and consistently, players should position their feet apart with the non-racket leg forward to widen the base. Controlled weight transfer from the back to the front foot and not only improves power but also helps maintain postural stability. And finally, we have range of motion and flexibility, which are essential for a full smooth swing without compensation. Dynamic stretching before playing helps optimize joint flexibility and ensuring better movement efficiency and reducing injury risks. Together, these principles contribute to a stronger, more controlled forehand serve.
That's all from us. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ Terima kasih.
Kamsahamnida. Bye.